Hello guys, how are we doing today? Hope everything is fine. I hope to make today's tutorial the final tutorial of the final video of this series. But I want to thank you guys for sticking with me all through the series, and I really want to say I appreciate you guys for supporting me till this moment. But then I would still love to tell you that if you love my tutorials, please do give me a like and share my videos, and because it helps me a lot. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do hit the subscribe button. I'm also on social media. I'm also on Instagram, Twitter. You can also hit me up on the social media handle and see some of my work. So in the previous videos, we looked at how we model this. I'm just doing a recap. We model this products and we textured. I must say that this part of this tablet gave me a lot of issues, and I just really want to appreciate that. I'm happy that I learned something in the last video, and that's it with modeling and product design. So every time you get to learn new things, that's how you improve on a daily basis. So in today's tutorial, we're going to look at how to texture the package. So we've looked at that. So I'm just going to put up this package. So look at how to texture this package, and that's just pretty much what we want here in this tutorial. So I'm going to hide every other thing except the package. So we have this package. So if you look at this package here, and I hit NB, we already have this set, so more like I have this object and I have this fillet object to it, so that's what I have. So I'm going to duplicate this for me to have a copy in the backup before I do this very important change. So I'm going to convert to editable format. So now, because this package has a lot of text in it, I'm not going to use the normal texture technique that I used in the previous tutorial. So I'm going to use UV Unwrapping for this. So let's look at this package. So what UV Unwrapping is just more of you cutting your object and having it in a 2D plane. I'm not going to be talking about all the tools in this tutorial, because I already have a tutorial on UV Unwrap, so I'm going to put down link in the description so you can just check an in-depth tutorial about UV Unwrapping. But for this, I'm just going to go through the workflow and start modeling. So I want to cut this guy. So I'm going to look at where I'm going to cut this. So I want to have this object cut through from this base here and goes up. So where I'm going to have my scissors, I'm going to go to my edge mode and select where I want to have this cut from. So let's say I'm going to have a cut from here, hold down shift and cut this here. Okay, so this goes up to this place. I think I should just have it this way. Yeah. And do the same thing here. So this is where I'm going to be having my cut all through this object. So this stage is more like a stage where you start laying out. Sorry, I don't know what's wrong with mine. As usual. All right, so I'm going to have this cut here, and also I'm going to have this cut through up to this section here. So I'm going to cut this still to this place and do same thing here. So I'm holding down shift to just have that added to that. So I think I'm fine with this. So I'm going to have that guy cut loose. So once I'm okay with this, the next thing I'm going to do is to go over to my UV edit. So I'm going to go to body paint UV edit. So it's going to change. So let me quickly save this file. So once this thing changes, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to drag this guy out. The color, I'm going to drag the color also out. So I have this. So for this guy, I don't need this unwrap. I don't need this UV. So I'm going to delete this UV because I want to create my UV now. So if I hold down shift and double click on this guy, it's going to give me the UV that I have. And this is not what I want, because if I should go to this and I pick this guy, notice what is happening. So the UV doesn't really look how I want it to look like. So that is why we're going to create our own UV. So I'm going to delete this UV. So now that I have this UV deleted, so I'm going to go to my polygon mode, Control A to select all my polygons. Then I can now also go to this texture polygon mode. So once I go to this texture polygon mode, for me to add that UV, I'll click on this icon here, and this comes up. So I'm going to deselect everything. The only thing I want is just my package. So I'll select only this package and go to next. And also I want to select the object. If I choose this, go to the texture. So I just need this package. Go to next. I have this and I go to next. So this is the color it's giving me. So let me just pick a color. So I'm just going to pick very dark color. So let's say that. Then it's also asking for texture size. So I'm going to multiply this by 2. So I have a 2K texture size. Then finish. Then I'm going to have this black interface. And the reason is because I chose black. All right, so you can see where I have that cut all through. So, but if you look at this right here, if you look at this right here, I noticed I had issue with this every time I use my graphics tablet. So we could just come to this image, and I think it's here. I think, okay, all right, go to view and fit to screen. So it brings this to your screen. So that is it. Sorry about that. So that's anytime you get lost in this thing. So the next thing I want to do is to try and bring all these things out and solve them. Because right now, if I paint over to this guy, if I go to my paint tool and I choose white color and I paint, see what I have. So if I paint here, that is more like for the base down there. So if I click here, you see what I have, and I click here, you see all these things. So this is just to help me know where I'm going to be painting now. So I'm going to undo all these paintings, and so the next thing I'm going to do is to try and wrap these guys together. So I'm going to go back again, Control A, come here, then go over to my UV mapping. Then I'll go to the projection. I'll check box. Once I check box, notice what happens. So I don't really like that. So I'm going to undo. So what I'm just going to do, since I already have this cut out, so I'll go to this relax UV. Then make sure I have my cut selected edge. I already have edge selected, so I want it to cut the selected edge. So I have these two algorithms. I could just choose anyone. So I'll click on apply. So it applies that and realigns. So once I have that, the next thing I want to do is to start mapping out where my the front of the pack is going to be, the side, and I hope you understand that. So I want this to be the front of my pack. So what I'm going to do is go to my um, paint brush, then go over to my layer. I'm going to create a new layer. So this layer, I'm going to call this my just call this my markers. So now for this marker, this is meant to be my front, so I'm going to call this my front. All right, so you can see the way that goes. So this, I'm going to come over to this side. This is going to be my side one, and I want you to notice my text. So that means if I'm to put in any texture, it has to be, I have to read it this way. So that is very important. So for the um, down part, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to orbit this. So this becomes my back. So you can notice this is flipped here. So that is the importance of this. So you know how you're going to place this guy. So this is the front, this is the side one, and this is going to be my side two. All right. So this is not meant to, I think this is meant to be this way. Yes. So you can see this is flipped. All right, so of course I'm looking at the park, so that's why I'm saying I'm looking at the park. So this side is going to be my side 3. So, and this is meant to come this way. So this is going to be side 3, and you can see that there. And this is going to be side 4. So once you have all these things laid out, I'm going to take this to Photoshop and start painting. So the other thing I'm also going to do is I need to also make sure that my outline is set, so that that will also help me to know where the boundaries are. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select, make sure everything is selected, Control A, then create another layer. So this is going to be my outline. So as soon as I have this outline selected, I will go over to my layer, if I'm correct. Yes, then I'm going to see outline polygon. So if I click on outline polygon, now for the outline polygon, make use of the brush and also the size of the brush you're going to be using. So let's say for this brush, I'm going to be making use of this. So let's click on this brush and let's pick. I think this size might be too much, so I think 5 might be fine. Make it very hard, so we have a hard brush. So making use of this size and the color, that is what's going to use to outline that. So if I go back to this and select all, then create a new layer, make sure the layer is selected, go over to your layer, outline polygon. So you're going to outline the polygon with this color. So once you are done with that, the next thing is just for you to save this texture. So I'm going to come over to my file. You will see save texture as. So I'm going to save this texture as. So I'm going to call it a PDF. So, okay, so I'm going to make it a Photoshop file and click OK. It's going to tell me what name I want to give it. So I'm going to call this package material, package math, something like that, package math. So I'm going to click on save. So as soon as I have that guy saved, so the next thing is I can just go over to my start menu, and that's fine. So notice I have the material already here. So if you open the material, this is what you get to have, this image here. Okay, so let's go over to Photoshop. So if I go to the Photoshop, all right, it's okay. Sorry about that. This is just one of render I did for someone. So if I come here, so work files, see for the rigid templates, assets. So this is what I just created. Where is it? package material. So this is a package material. So I'm going to drag this package material over to this Photoshop, and this brings this guy here. So now the next thing we're going to do is start layering up this. So I also have logo that I am going to be working with. So if you check here, I have some logos. So I have my UG logo. I have this tablet which is meant to be in front. So I'm going to show you how I created this. Just illustrate. Okay, so let's start bringing this information out. And also another thing, I have done this package. I've done this texturing before, but I'm just going to show you how I did that so you can just have a feel. So I'm going to bring up this logo to start with. So drag the logo out. So the logo comes here. You can see that. So I'll move this logo where I need to move this logo. Okay, so I know the logo is going to be somewhere here. We have the logo here. So I'll click here and press enter. But this, I don't want this problem. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring out this logo. So if okay, so I think I'm going to get rid of this and bring in the actual logo for me to pick. So I have the actual logo here, which is under my reference. So this is it. So I'm going to bring this guy over to this place. So this is the actual logo. So this is a PNG file. So I'm going to click that, then hold down Control and click on this so that it selects this. All right, so I need to get this out of my selection. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on rectangle and make sure I am in the subtract mode. Click and get rid of this. So I'm now left with this. All right, so once I have this, I'm going to create a new layer. Then make sure my color is white. Then hit G so that it brings me to this bucket. Then click, make sure the new layer is selected. Click inside this and have it selected. So if I hit Ctrl D, I'm back with this. So let me start hiding this. Let me hide the marker. I know this is the front, so if I hide this marker, so I have that. So I can delete this layer that I have. I don't need it anymore. So the logo is what I have now. So I can bring this logo anywhere I want it to be. And that, so this is, so I can transform, Ctrl T, and just resize this. All right, so that's how I'm going to continue doing that. So for me to put in text, so maybe I want to have UGM something graphics tablet. So I'm just going to create a text object and just type something here. So let's look for a good font. So let's say I'm going to use Flora. This is one of my best fonts anyway. So I'm going to increase this guy and call this M708 graphics tablet. So if I double click this, if I double click, I can reduce this, just bring this down here. Okay, so maybe the tablet should be down. I don't know. So what we can do is double click, come here, let it be down there. All right. So if I go to this paragraph, I want it to be this aligned. So I think it should be left alignment. So I have this. This is fine. So we have this information. Then for that other logo that I said I created, I could just bring that out. So this is here, this illustration for it. So I'm just going to drag the illustration out. So I'm going to have it here. So I'll just reduce and bring this over here, maybe somewhere here. Press enter. So I want to have this selected. So I could just, okay, so I have my auto selection. So I'm going to make sure I have it off. So I can move it anywhere I want it to be. Then also I have my UG somewhere here, and I have made in China, all these things. So if I'm to do that, all I need to just create another layer. For this other layer, I can create a rectangular selection here. So maybe I'm going to bring this over here, create a rectangular selection somewhere here. Then G, highlight that. Control D. So inside this, I'm going to put in another text. So this, in my own case, I can say, so this is going to be black. Okay, so let me finish. So I can say this is going to be made in Nigeria. Okay, so I have this, which I'm going to place here. So if I reduce this guy, bring it over here, make it black, so I can move it in place. So we have that. All right. So I can also bring in my logo. So let's say I have this logo here. I need to put in the logo somewhere here, maybe somewhere here. So what I can do is, I think this is the logo here. So let me just name this. So I can duplicate this by hitting Ctrl J. So I have this logo, bring it over to this place. Ctrl T, I can reduce this guy and bring it here. And also look at the marker, don't forget. So side one, that means I'm reading this way. So this is fine, so I can hide the marker. So for the other side too, notice what happens. This is also still correct this way. So I can duplicate this logo and bring this logo somewhere here. So if that is what I so wish, then I can hide the marker. So that's how you put in all your information. So for here, you would have some logos here. If you check here, so I have S. So I can just say, okay, for this logo, duplicate again and bring the logo somewhere here. So for this logo, I'm going to rotate that. So look at the orientation, Ctrl T, and use this to rotate, hold down Shift to constrain this 90 degrees, then scale this down. Place this here. So for this other one, you can also duplicate this guy. J, bring it here. And notice the way this goes. So this should be rotated also. So I'm going to rotate this, hold down Shift until I'm fine. So that's how you will work your way around this. So once you're done with your logo, you save this and put over to Cinema 4D. So let me just save this and so that we can see the effect. So now, if I come here and I save, it saves this file. Then go into Cinema 4D. All I need to do in Cinema 4D is just double click, come over to this image and reload. Once I reload, I'll say yes, it reloads that, and this is what I have the graphics. So this looks so rough now. And for me to solve that, just double click, go to edit, and so I'm going to have this made in Nigeria and this package. And you can also see that we're having the outline. So what I can do is go over to Photoshop hide the outline so I don't have any outline. So all I still need to do is once I do that, any changes I make in Photoshop, I have to save and come back to Cinema 4D, double click here and go to the image and reload. As soon as I reload, see that that goes away. So that's how you do that. So about this, what I did is I already have a file that I prepared. So I looked for image. I didn't know how to get a PDF of it. So what I did was to create this myself using Spline. So I'm going to, and I created a camera looking at it from the top. So this is a camera. Then I rendered this file. So let's just show you what I have here. So I have, let's hide everything. So you can see what I have. I have the splines, see, that I created then, and I put each of them into a sweep knob. So this is the spline for this, and I put this in a circle, and I sweep this circle along the spline for me to have that. So what I did to that spline, notice some parts of this object stick and some are thin. So what I did was to come over to the detail and change the scale. So basically just as I move this up, notice the scale is large here. If I bring it down, scale comes down. So for me to add more points, just control click to add more points. So moving this will change the way the shape will look like. So you can see the effect. So that's how I did for all of them till that's what I did for all of them till I got this shape. And I saved it as alpha and put over there. So that's how I did that. But then I am going to, I already have a file which I have everything done. So I think this is it, package. So let me just open that, which I have everything created. So this is the file here. Let me just open work file, C4D, UG assets and UV package. So this is the file that I have already cooked. So you can see here, I've added some text, and rearranged all these things. And you can see all these things. I've already done this. And this is what I'm going to add into this package. So if I go back to, let me just, so if I go back to my package and come and bring it that texture, so I'll come over to this texture and this is it here, UV package, and click no, and that is saved. So if you check this now, I have this package done. All right, so mind you, I just use normal Cinema 4D texture to illustrate, so it's still the same process. So now that I have the package and I've already done my UV unwrapping on it, so any plugin works, and it just put it on any texture, it works. So if I unhide all these guys, okay, sorry, backward should go, and let's see this. So if I'm to create a new package, so let's say I'm going to use this border, create a duplicate of this border and put this here. So if I go to this texture, I'm going to get rid of this. So this is going to be for the package or the pack. So let's call this pack. So I'm going to clear this and go back, put in an image texture and load that image texture. So we have this work file, C4D assets and UVG package, and I have that. So if you check, we have to add this package here. So if I go over here and bring this, that's all. So remember what I need to do here. So double click, go to your editor for your Octane and just none. And it will take a while, then that will come up. So if I just zoom in, okay, so maybe we'll just look for a 2K texture, so and that is fine. So let's see what we have. Let's see what we have. So I'm going to scale this up. So let me save this before anything. So I'm going to bring back my Octane. Okay, so I have this. So let's see the package. All right, so we already have our package all done. So if you look down, everything is set. Okay, coming down here, you have all of them set for you, and you have your UG here also. All right, so that's how you do that using your UV unwrapping. So don't forget, the reason why I did all this is because I know I have so many information to display. So instead of me taking my time adding objects and objects, I can just do a UV unwrap and unwrap that and do that. So mind you, what we've done so far is just to do this, but the lighting is not, this is not the lighting I'm looking at or I want. So how I light is I make use of HDRI's link. That is what I use to light this HDRI Studio. And then, so what I'm going to do now is to create one. So go over to my camera and possibly let me duplicate this. So I want to look at my part textured image. So I'm going to come in. So if you like this, fine. But if you want to learn more about HDRI Studio, so you could just continue in this tutorial. So what I do is to set my camera where I want it, then go to my plugin, HDRI Light Studio C40. So this comes up. So we have two options, Cinema 4D and Octane. So what this does, it allows to export C40 file and also Octane file. So since I'm working on Octane, I'll have to do that. Then I'm going to add a preview hook. So it creates an HDRI for me. So at this time, I don't have any texture at this HDRI. So I want to create my HDRI. So as soon as I'm done with this, then I'll click on start. So it's going to start HDRI link for me or HDRI lighting and loads that. So it's loading HDRI Light Studio for me to start lighting this object. So it's just more like me creating an HDRI that I'm going to use to light this in. So as soon as this comes up, I'll just click on play and import. So it imports my scene here for me to start lighting. Okay, so it's importing that, and I'm going to have that in a bit. So I have this. So now notice this goes off. So what then? These icons are very important. This is for you. This is used in painting. This is used to select objects, and this is used to pan, while this is used to zoom in. All right. Okay, so for me to pan, just pan this guy out. So I think I will be having problem here for me to light this. So I'm actually still learning this HDRI, so I'm still learning this guy, so don't expect me to start being professional about it. So I just need to point that out. Okay, so live perspective. So this is not seeing my camera. I don't see my camera here, so I need render view for C4D obtain HDRI light. Okay, so this isn't seeing my camera, but really this is how we just use this to create my object and just go to this paint mode and add my light. So once I add light, I can paint the light over to this package and that solves that. Okay, so I think this is not really coming out well. So pretty much this is what you just click on the light and paint this light over. So you have to be in paint mode and paint it over where you want. So you can notice as I'm doing this, I'm having this object painted here. All right. Then I can set the opacity here. So this 20, so if I make it 200, you notice it's a lot brighter. So this is the pen actually. So this is the pen. So I have this pen and this is this object here. So if I go to the paint and I paint this side, notice what's happening here. So it's painting this side of that. So if I want to create another one, click here, paint this side. So I have a default lighting, which is a gradient light. So I can hide that. So I can see what my lighting is giving me. So the first light is painted over this and the second light is here. So this is just to let me see where my packages are. So I'm going to paint another one on this pen. So I'm going to go back to light and make sure I'm in paint mode. Paint on this pen here. So maybe somewhere here. Okay, so I have that, and then maybe create another one, paint over this section. Okay, so I think this should do. And for this one, I'm bringing this 40. And maybe I want to change the color. I can just come down, change the color to whatever color that I want. You can see feedback in the scene. All right. So once you are done, I'm going to hide this one. So I don't need that. So this is enough for us. So all I need to just minimize this. And let's check what we have. So if I refresh this, you're going to see that I now have this HDRI light here that I just printed. That's what I'm going to have. So now, we now have two HDRIs. I have one that I brought in, then we have the other one that I just printed. So if I bring this one that has sky object, or I can make it primary and make this other one visible. So that means this is what's going to be visible in the scene, and this one will not be visible. All right. So for this one that will be visible, we can also set what we want it to affect. Want it to affect the back plate or not? Want it to be visible in reflection? Can also have that. You want it to be visible in refraction. So if you have a glass object, you can also make it visible. So notice if I have reflection active, see what's happening. It reduces this so much. So So it should just move. So now notice the power also is much, so we can decide to reduce this power. Maybe 2.3, possibly 0.1, and you have that. So if I increase this power, also has effect. Okay, so we have this guy packaged here. So you can see my lights. That is what is now visible in the scene. So I think I am going to end this series here. So that is pretty much what this tutorial is about, how you can create your product from scratch and texture and light and render. And so for me to do my render, all I just need to do is just go back and do my settings. So this right here are just for preview. If I'm to do my final render, I'm going to crank up this maximum sample to maybe 2000. And for this clamp, I think that is fine. For this minimum, maybe I want it to be 512 or maybe 300. So this is just more like minimum sample. And this one, I'm going to make this 2. I'm going to have my adaptive sampling on. Since I don't have glass objects here, so I don't really need caustic, so I have that off. Then over to my imagery, I think everything is fine here. Posts, everything is fine here. So I have this, so maybe I'll make this medium and go to my render setting and change this. So if I make this 1920 full HD by 1080, so I can just kick the render out. So if I come over to this, then for this floor, I think I should create a texture for it. Okay, so I will just create a glossy texture and put this on this floor. So I'm making this black because of my background, so because of my package. So make this black, roughness should go 0.1, and for bump, maybe I'm going to look for a bump to use. So maybe I should just use this. So I'm going to copy this, add this over here. So I have that bump, that normal rather on that. So that solves that. So if I check what I have here now, so let me save before anything. So that I should have this on this ground. So maybe I want this to be less reflective, then I can come over to this and go to this roughness and increase the roughness. So, and possibly come to the index, maybe I'll bring the index down. So that makes it, if I make the index 0, it's just white, more like mate. If I make it 1.15, just a little bit reflective, and you can see the preview here. Okay, so I think I'll go with 2, 5. Still want to have reflection down there. So I have that. So for me to have what's it called? So what I think I can do is to scale this up. So it takes a whole lot of room here. So I could just have this package somewhere here and render. So let's see. I'm thinking I should still increase this roughness and reduce this. Okay, I think I'm liking this. Okay, so I'm liking that. So for this, maybe I should bring this down. And two, okay, point 7 shouldn't be bad. And for this one, maybe I'm going to have okay, should we have it on the reflective? I'm trying to look at the effect I'm going to have. So it's okay. I think I like this part here, but for this I don't like this. But for this I like here, but I don't like here. So I think I will go with this. This floor right here. I think I will go with this. So I think this is just pretty much it for this package. So I'm going to stop the tutorial here. So I want to say thank you guys for sticking around with me through this series. It really means a lot to me. I'm really grateful. And if this was helpful, please do give me a thumbs up and a like. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do subscribe to my channel. And also, I'm going to put in the description link to my social media handle. So you could also follow me and check some of my works out. So peace out. Do have a wonderful day. God bless you. Bye.